be supported by Rise on the Disruptor. Towards the mid lane, it will be Baby Knight, of course, on his Shadow Fiend, and Blan on the Treant. Be this crit off lane Phoenix. So Draskell, what is it going on the side of the Power Rangers?
All right, so for Power Rangers, we got our Cheshire Cat Brood here in the bottom lane, heading over towards the river. We got Shacklo standing here next to the bottom rune. It's going to be King R playing on his Vengeful Spirit. J4 is going to be handling the Chen this game. And then finally, we got Deira playing on the Zislark.
So indeed, in terms of the bounty runes, we're going to see bottom lane. Is he going to go for it now? Legion's going to decide against it. There's 3 heroes there. There's also a spider spidering about. Shadow Fiend will find the top rune. Storm Spirit does get the bottom. So the 2 mids manage to secure themselves the runes. That's going to both help them get their bottles online fairly quickly. King R and J4 just really pushing back the heroes here on the bottom lane. And so at the moment, Chen is positioned in the Radiant jungle. Do you think he's going to stick around here, or does he need to head back to his own half of the map?
I like this idea of the aggressive Chen, because normally you see Brood as that hero who can be shut down really hard by early sentries, and sometimes if he gets too far behind, the LC just bullies him for the entire stage of the early laning. But if you have a Chen here, it means that the supports cannot go anywhere but their own jungle and then try to stop the Chen from being a nuisance, which I don't think they're going to be able to. A Centaur is a very strong first creep to have. It's up there with getting an Ursa, and then you can just be an annoyance. Look at J4 right now. He's just doing some harass to Blan. And as long as those supports are staying away from the Brood, you're good to go.
Indeed. I mean, King R as well, rotating towards the mid lane, creating a little bit of space for Shashlo. He's going to head straight up to the top. I mean, can they really leave Slark alone against the Phoenix? It's going to be a very hard lane for the Slark, surely.
Yeah, it's not a great situation. The thing about this lane is, even with the 2 of them here, you have Venge and you have Slark. You're not going to kill the Phoenix unless he makes a pretty glaring mistake, because you can just you can swipe or dive, excuse me, out of any bad situation. But I think he'll probably get a lot of experience here. Might not get the most farm, but he will be level 6 and pretty good time.
We also see Treant actually heading up to the top lane as well to provide a little bit backup for Crit. Maybe looking to turn this one around onto King R. Hasn't skilled anything yet. Can go, of course, for that Leech Seed, but just heads in, keeping the Venge Force back as much as he can. Mid lane, the Storm against the Shadow Fiend. Storm at the moment with 11 CS, and Baby Knight only on 3, so Storm having a great time in the mid lane.
A little bit surprising that the Storm is not really being harassed too much, but it's expected that a Shadow Fiend wouldn't get a lot of CS in the early waves because his base damage is so abysmal. So usually by level 3 is when you start seeing the Shadow Fiend recover in terms of overall CS, and Shacklo is just exploiting the fact that he has a significantly higher base damage. Also, don't forget, Storm has 6 base armor. That's really tanky for a ranged int hero to have that kind of armor at this early stage. And I like the fact that PR don't emphasize too much putting the Chen in the jungle for too long. They just stayed long enough for Cheshire Cat to get level 3. Because once you get level 3, you get your second points into web. So you have 4 webs instead of 2. It doubles your regen on top of that. And if the sentries aren't already down and the supports have left the lane, then J4 being there, as we see first blood here middle lane.
Indeed.
Very well played. Rise
rotates in, they catch out the Storm Spirit, and first blood to Baby Knight. Especially in a lane situation where he wasn't having a great time, that's going to really put him into the game.
Yeah, that's the dream, actually. He has his bottle, and he got first blood, and he got a clarity, I think, from his support as well.
Phoenix on the top lane fairly low. King R coming around, has got the magic missile available, and Crit. Is he going to be okay? No, I don't think he is. He's going to go for the TP, but they can't quite find him. They look around for it, but they give up, and well, Phoenix lucky to get away with his life there.
I think they realized that the pathing would have taken too long. Like, sometimes when you click to where a hero is standing, it will turn you around even if you can't see it, which is really annoying. But they added a new, like, I think it's alt click or something like that, where you're supposed to just walk there anyway. But maybe they just assumed they wouldn't get him in time. But still, nice escape. And Flipside off to a pretty solid start with their Shadow Fiend getting that first blood.
Yeah, indeed, and that's going to give Baby Knight, indeed, the damage to be able to out-CS this Storm, one would expect at this point. But of course now, level 5 on them, Storm going to be hitting level 6 fairly shortly as he picks up the level 5. Now top lane, Ditchera getting a lot of harassment here from Crit and Blan, and with the tree and the Phoenix, this is not a pretty lane for the Slark. Mid lane though, they're going to go on the Storm Spirit, and this is the time to do so when he hasn't got the ultimate, and bam, another kill for Baby Knight. He did not have the best of starts. We saw the difference, but now top of the CS, 2 kills on board as well. Thank you to the rotations from the Disruptor, he says, because it's turning the lane around massively.
It's the one really bad thing about having a Storm mid is that against some supports, you just fall over. You cannot get away from a Disruptor gank. And Shadow Fiend is one of those heroes that if you set it up the right way and you land a good double or triple raise, your damage output is through the roof for any mid hero. So I really like the movement so far from Flipside as we see another rotation towards the bottom lane.
Yep, PR ready to go aggressive and straight in, tanking the tower with the Centaur. J4 followed up by King R. Ace is in a lot of trouble. Magic Missile straight away. Living Armor will buy a bit of time. Nice overwhelming odds. In fact, bringing all of them fairly low. Can Ace finally kill off the back of this? Getting blocked up in the tree line. Does get taken down. In comes the TP from Crypt. Maybe can find a cleanup kill. King R just going straight away with the TP and he will make it out. Cheshire Cat's going to be alright as well with the invis. There is a sentry down, but now he's going to focus on the Chen here. Caught in a little bit of a bad position. Gets taken down there by the Thunderstrike. So they lose the Legion, but they get the Chen off the back of it.
Still okay of a trade. It was a bit aggressive going that deep. I think if the LC had duel up, he might have even been able to get a kill because he could have forced the engagement there on the who was the one that was low? Was it VS? No, because he walked away from the tower. So somebody was standing there and had basically no health left, and he just walked away and then realized, oh, I could have killed him, and then got creep blocked, and then just didn't end up getting anything at all. So that was unfortunate for Ace. I feel like he could have walked away from that actually getting a kill, but either way, he's still farming well. I don't think he's gonna be too worse for wear.
Indeed, Babe Knight heading into the jungle, clearing up some creep waves, and 1100 gold on him now on top of the treads. In this kind of situation, is this a mech game for the Shadow Fiend, or would you imagine to see the Yules straight up?
I think it should be a mech game, because against what PR have, if you're the ones pushing the early game advantage, and you have these types of heroes that don't do well against BKB, when the Storm and the Slark, and even the Brood will almost assuredly buy it at some point in the game, you're just kind of waiting until they have the power spike that they want to be able to take fights. So mech allows you to get the early control of the game and push in the tier 1s and make it so when the BKBs do come out, you've had control of the map for a longer period of time, which usually means that you can have a higher level of farm. Like, look at Baby Knight, he's huge. I think there's no reason to not buy a mech in this situation. You could go BKB, but I don't think it's really necessary right now against what they have. I think mech gives you a lot of survivability for you and your team, and if they commit to you that hard with a mech, your team probably kills them, even if you die. So.
Okay, we'll see if that's indeed what he goes for. Phoenix, is that the Midas recipe already on his... It is, so Phoenix, he's doing pretty well. Brown boots into Midas recipe, 7 minutes in, that's pretty good timing.
It's fantastic timing as an offlane. There's no doubt about that. He almost even got a kill bottom when we saw that dive, but King R with the sick TP reactions. Having a Midas on Phoenix is another one of those really nice things because you want level 16 as fast as humanly possible, especially on Phoenix because his survivability and his ulti is directly based off the level of the ulti. So every time you get another rank into Supernova, you get 3 more hits, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you land your spirits well, 3 more hits can be the difference between getting your Supernova stun off into killing everyone and you just dying and looking silly. So it is very, very important.
It really can indeed. 3-1 at the moment. The lane's going very nicely for the side of Flipside. Shadow Fiend at the top of the CS, top of the net worth as well. Look at that net worth. He's about to hit 5k, 7.5 minutes in bottom lane. Go straight into the duel. They won't be able to find the bonus damage. And Cheshire Cat actually coming out on top of this engagement. Ace needs to be careful here running away. There's going to be the glimpse onto the Broodmother to buy Legion some space. And he will be able to escape. But I think I'll think twice about dueling that Broodmother straight up because Cheshire Cat with the 2 points in incapacitating bite, not the best target for the duel.
That blind chance, 50 or 40% at level 2, pretty significant. And like I said, if you have the insatiable hunger on, you can't die if you're just clicking on something, which is extremely important. So, like I said, he's foregoing leveling his spawn spiderlings right now, and he even goes for medallions. So maybe we're looking to take an early Roshan with this.
Top lane, Shashlo zipping in, trying to find the Phoenix. Phoenix pops the ult straight away. He's going to be okay. And indeed was the best thing to do as Storm did have a double damage and one more right click would have finished off the job. But still 3-1 Flipside, maintaining control of this game, and Shadow Fiend Baby Knight continuing to ball out of control, 5.5k net worth, and also of course now with the Phoenix on his side picking up the Midas as well. Baby Knight with that Blink Dagger, 500 gold on top of it as well, ready to look for those rotations and see what he can find across the map. He's going to hang back in the jungle and look to... Well, he does need to stack the camp because it's already stacked and he'll be able to clean it up before the 9-minute mark. And blinks back and out of mana, probably going to head back to base now before TPing out into a lane. Stormspray's going to get some space off the back of this, but space is certainly needed in a situation where you're 2k net worth behind the enemy mid hero. Bottom lane, Ace getting chased down by a spider. Rise is here with the glimpse though, and Ace is going to be okay.
Getting bullied out by this Brood is not what you want to happen in this situation. You need to be able to effectively zone him. And again, it was just that little movement from J4, like coming down here, making it so the supports couldn't sentry the lane straight up, and they couldn't keep him off the wave. And by the time the Chen left, he was already level 3. So that was a really, really nice thing that they did for him to allow him to have this kind of really good early game. He's the 4th highest net worth right now on the Brood. And that was against a hero that is supposed to be one of his counters. So again, countering can sometimes not really work out the way that you want when it's up against a Brood.
Indeed, looking at the Slark's build, he's picked up a point booster straight away after the just the bare bones gloves of haste. And 1k gold in the bank. I mean, does he still go for the Midas in this situation, or do you think that we're just going to see him finish off the Skadi before anything else is picked up by Ditchera?
He might just be going treads.
Yeah.
I think if he goes back for a Midas now, you're just going to have to play totally passive the whole game. And when you have Chen and Storm, I don't know if playing passive is really the style that you want to adopt, because that just means they can focus more on your Brood. And if they kill Cheshire Cat like over and over again, some teams just like revert to that. Because Broods will never play back. They have to always pressure. That's their only job, is to pressure a lane. And if everyone else is kind of not doing anything, then your Brood is like free game for the enemy team. So I don't think they'll adopt too much of a passive style here.
He's trying to find what he can in the jungle as well. Disruptor getting some of the levels in lane, working towards that static storm pickup. I mean, J4 on this Chen, we haven't really seen him be too active at the moment. He's just been farming up, has hit level 7. He's well on the way to the mechanism with the buckler and the headdress picked up. Now we're going to see him smoke up with King R. Where's he going to head? Are they going to head for Ace on the bottom lane, or is Shadow Fiend the bigger and the better target to go for? Baby Knight, of course, has got that Blink Ogre Club as well, working towards the BKB. Cheshire Cat spotting out Ace in the jungle. Maybe this is the idea. No, it's actually going to be Roshan. Cheshire Cat, Vengeful Spirit, and Chen with the medallion. Going to be able to do it fairly quickly. Top lane, Slark actually finding a solo kill onto the Phoenix. So more gold for Ditchera under his belt.
Maybe he goes Midas now that he got that kill.
Yeah. Do you reckon going back for it, if you get it at the 11.5 minute mark, it's still
a good timing, yeah. If he got that kill, then I think he does it, just because it's a little bit of a boost in net worth. But he's not spending any money, so who knows what he's buying. I've never seen a Slark player actually go for that as bottom lane.
Oh yeah, Baby Knight doing the Requiem from the high ground. Won't be able to burst anyone straight down. J4 gets low. Final raise coming through from Baby Knight. Will find the kill onto the Chen. Maybe they get King R as well. He heads into the bit and he's going to try and TP straight out. Have they got the jewel available? Yes, they do. Holding him in place. He gets glimpsed back as well. They get the jewel bonus damage. Legion taking that one. Double kill to the Shadow Fiend. And a bit of a messy fight there for PR. Flipside coming out on top again. And well, thanks to that, Baby Knight getting further and further ahead in terms of net worth.
He's monstrously farmed. He's got 8k net worth at 12 minutes into the game. That's 600 GPM or more right now. Like, think about that. Most carries farming well is like 450 to like 500 DPM, right? He's got over 100 more than that, and it's 12 minutes into the game. So yeah, he's not doing too bad. Not doing too bad at all. I'm still a bit surprised he decided to go for Blink. But yeah. I guess if you're farming this fast, that doesn't really matter what you buy, because you're going to have it really fast. So he's going to have BKB in 400 gold, give or take. And then he'll have Blink BKB at around 15 minutes, which is damn fast. So if I'm PR, I'm pretty scared. I do not want to try to take engagements against somebody who's that overfarmed right now.
So Slark with his money, he got the point boost in the Glimpse. He decided to go for the Blink Dagger. Do you think that's the best item to pick up when you get that kind of burst of gold on the Slark at this point?
If you want to try to be active, I think it is the right call, and it looks like that's exactly what he wants to do.
Yeah, straight in onto Ace with the backup of Cheshire Cat on the Spider. Living Armor will buy some time for Ace, but surely he goes down, and he will do indeed. The TP is cancelled by the Treant as he realizes this is a lane that he really doesn't want to be in at this point. And as you said, yeah, the Blink Dagger paying off. In comes the TP now into the tree line by the Phoenix. Phoenix does have the Supernova available. Ditchera just going to skip the creep wave. And in the jungle, Shashla heading straight in. There's 3 heroes on the side of Flipside on the mid lane. Do have the Rise with the Static Storm available. Shashla is to be careful. Their Glimpse is also online.
I don't know why he didn't go for that.
Yeah, I mean, they could have got Glimpse into Static Storm.
You can't ball Glimpse either. That's the thing. Like, you cannot ball it. So if he used the combo, he would have died. Did he have the mana? Yeah, he did.
Oh, right, meanwhile, bottom lane. Well, we talked about the Phoenix TPing in. That was a bit of a mistake. Ditchera finding another kill, and suddenly Slarky storming up the net worth. I wouldn't say getting out of control because you just compare into the net worth of the Shadow Fiend and there's still a 3,000 gold difference.
Yeah, but
he's certainly getting that way.
The Slark Shadow Fiend matchup is really bad for the Shadow Fiend because if the Requiem doesn't kill the Slark, you're never going to right-click him down. That's the problem, is like if he gets on you with a Blink Dagger and a Pounce and you BKB, he can just run away from you with ulti and then he's full health again and your BKB's down and you have no Requiem if you can just totally disengage on the side of PR. And then late game, he just out right-clicks you. You just can't fight it.
Mid lane, well, Shashso tries to give a shot at Baby Nut, but Baby Nut pops the BKB straight away. Will finish off the tower. In come the Chen army, but well, Baby Nut says thanks for the CS, clears a couple of those creeps up, blinks himself out of there as Ventures come in, looking for a swap into Magic Missile, can't quite find the range, or maybe he can with Baby Nut going down there. Baby Nut heads back up, realizes he does not want to be here, does not want to hang around the Ancients even. There we go, blinks straight out as 4 heroes were chasing him down there, but they don't find anything beside a PR.
Very fortunate for Flipside that they didn't give anything extra away there. It was very close to Baby Knight being a casualty of a tower kill. This is still a fantastic start for Flipside. It is a little bit concerning that the Slark is getting farm for any Flipside fans out there because DreamLeague can do a lot of work with just a Blink and a Scotty. That hero is so ridiculous because of the fact that he's so hard to lock down. And there's only really 2 ways to do it. You have to disrupt him, or not disrupt, but Static Storm from the Disruptor, and then you can duel him. Those are the only 2 methods they have of stopping him. And if he doesn't die in that and a Shadow Dance is up, then you're not killing him. So they need to be wary of going too late with the advantage that they have.
Certainly do indeed. And how's the Slark doing after the point booster? Is he working towards that ultimate orb? He's nearly got enough for the first ultimate orb. So indeed with that online, level 13 coming around the corner as well. This is a fairly tanky Slark. Rise getting caught out by the swap, the Magic Missile, and burst damage from Cheshire Cat. That will be a nice kill for PR, bringing it to 5-5 on the board. Baby Knight still with the sleep, but as you said, against the Slark, Slark is always going to come out on top. Zip straight down, trying to find Ace in the tree line, and well, Legion's in a lot of trouble getting caught out by the Magic Missile. Does have the living armor, but Dark Pact bursting through the instances straight away. Storm will go down, but does have the Aegis, and they should be able to, with this massive Brood army, take down this tier 1. Fortification comes out, Blan heading in, has got the Overgrowth, TP in from the Phoenix, and War Baby Knight. Well, talked about the Slark coming up in that matchup, but he certainly didn't come out on top in that situation. Baby Knight just blows him up.
I don't know what just happened, but it wasn't fantastic. He died with a Shadow Dance up too, which is weird. And I'm pretty sure he had mana. Oh god, Storm, goodbye.
That's another kill there for the Shadow Fiend, now an unstoppable streak. And all off the back of that Slark just getting caught out, and now they're going to look for the tier 1. 3k net worth on this Shadow Fiend on top of the Blink BKB, and we're only 16.5 minutes into the game. 12k net worth on the Shadow Fiend. Baby Knight is an absolute monster.
He really is. Wonder what he's actually going for next. So he's got 3,000 gold. He hasn't spent it on anything. It's pretty typical to go for a Scotty in this situation, or sometimes people go for the S and Y. But I think Scotty is a better late game transition if you already have this amount of farm and you already have a Blink. I think the Yasha becomes less valuable because it's a chase item, right, or a farming tool. So you use it to get around quicker, and Blink kind of does the same thing, except it doesn't give you right-click damage, which is okay because he has Bottle and he can just use his Raise to farm the jungle. We can see this Brood getting a little... Oh, that's not where you want to be.
Gets glimpsed into the kinetic field. The laser is there, and Baby Knight again with another kill on this Shadow Fiend. When will it stop? 13k net worth, and as you said, with 4k, I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter what he goes for. He could buy a
full S&Y if he wants to.
Yeah.
And it's still really good. I just think that typically, if you want to go for the high ground siege build, you would probably just go Scotty for the health, and he is super aggressive right now.
Yeah, going straight onto the Venge. Ditchera is here on the Slark, but gets glimpsed straight away back by the Disruptor after TPing into that tier 2. And well, with the Slark all the way back on the bottom lane, in fact, there's the space and room for Flipside to maybe look to take this tier 2.
I think they're going to do just that. Not really anything that PR can do at this point against the SF. As long as the SS BKB is off cooldown and he has Blink on top of that, fighting is almost impossible. The funny thing is, Ace, he's the safe lane hero. He doesn't really have anything. He just has treads right now. He has a lot of money, but he hasn't bought anything, and I think he'll probably go Blink too. The combination of having the Blink Requiem and the Blink duel is really strong. And it's pretty much the only way to catch out the Storm or the Slark if you want to try to go for real kills. Unless for some reason Ditchera dies again to the Shadow Fiend, which made no sense.
Storm on the top lane with the Chen finds the tower. He's getting himself out there, and Ditchera now going onto the Legion. Legion presses the attack, and here will be out of there. Trient keeping tabs on Ditchera. Going to be able to do anything without the rest of the team there as Ditchera is able to escape. Shadowblade is the item of choice for the Legion.
A little bit strange. Shadowblade's one of those items that I like when you have map control, so in that sense, I think it's good. But you're not really going to find that many solo kills with your Shadowblade. His damage is not really that high. He's won one duel. So when he has the Shadowblade in his inventory, he hits for 117 damage, which isn't nothing. But maybe he's just hoping that he'll have his Shadow Fiend behind him to like blink in and follow up in terms of damage. Oh, Baby Knight, he's going to be in trouble here.
Yeah, Cheshire Cat going to go for a 1v1 attempt here. BKB is popped by Baby Knight, indeed getting very, very low.
He's so slow, he doesn't have boots. He went for Midas and just didn't buy boots. If he had it, he would have killed him.
Watch Storm Spirit zips onto the Phoenix. Ditchera pushing out the top lane. Baby Knight heads back to base, and indeed, so with the first ultimate orb picked up, looks like he will be indeed working towards that Skadi. There we go, there's the second ultimate orb as well. So still going to be a pretty ridiculous timing on this advance from the Shadow Fiend. I mean, just look at the net worth. He's 14k. The closest person is the Slark, over 5,000 gold behind him.
He is gigantic. I haven't seen a farmed Shadow Fiend like this in a long time. Like this amount of farm. Skadi, BKB, Blink at 19 minutes in.
On middle lane, Static Storm, it will catch Ditchera, but it gets
swap.
glimpse back, but nice swap indeed from King R. Buying him some time, Storm Spirit zipping straight into the fight. Overgrowth will hold him in place. Ditchera is able to Dark Pact it off, going straight onto the Treant, but they don't have any detection. Supernova is going to buy the Treant some time. There we go, they do find him as he moves away from the trees. Jewel actually onto the Storm Spirit as he tries to go onto Rise, but the Tide of Flipside, they're able to turn it around. 1-for-1 trade so far. Can anyone find anything more? Ditchera going in for the tower, doesn't find it. Deny is there from the Legion Commander. Baby Knight waltzing in, Kieran R could be in a lot of trouble. Frozen Magic Missile, sorry, onto the Phoenix, but it's not enough. Double kill for the Phoenix, and Baby Knight's involved in the cleanup crew there. 2-for-1 trade, favoring Flipside yet again. Ditchera, he's going deep, he's going ham, wants to find something here. He's a little bit out of mana though, fairly quick though, indeed with that haste rune. He should be able to get out. I don't think they're going to be able to shut him down here. Blinking forward Baby Knight, but at the same time Ditchera blinks away from the fight and gets himself out. 10-7 though, Flipside coming out on top. Cheshire Cat looking for a bit of push. Baby Knight has come into the lane. Won't be able to kill and control the Broodmother on his own though.
There's really nice pathing that Ditchera took there. It's very common for players to take the path that of least resistance, I guess you could say, and just go straight up and try to get into the woods that way, but knowing that Baby Knight was chasing would probably blink to that area. He just walks straight away from the tower, ends up living because of it. I'm just curious, what does Baby Knight go now? Does he just go for more tankiness, or does he go for like MKB for the Brood? I mean, he can make even like any damage item right now, and I think that it would be fine. He could even go Butterfly if he wanted to be super tank, and then transition into Helm of the Dominator later and go Satanic and just be like the terrifying 30-minute 5-item Shadow Fiend and just be a siege engine.
Interesting to see what he opts for. Roshan is up, straight into the pit. The Spiderlings are scouting Flipside out here though. Perhaps PR could look to contest this straight away. The D-Ward coming through. Looks like they don't want to stick around at this point. They don't want to risk trying to fight into Roshan, especially against a team with a Storm. And as we've seen this tournament, a lot of Storms finding the successful snatches and steals on the Aegis. The Strike keeping tabs of the Storm for the time being, and Cheshire Cat continue to farm up the Radiant Jungle. 2.7k gold on this Broodmother. What do you imagine we're going to see the Brood pick up next? Is it going to be straight into the old Necro build?
I don't think the Necro book is really that useful here.
No.
It's really easy to kill from the from Flipside, and they have a BKB Shadow Fiend already, and they have LC for anti-AoE and all that, so I don't think it's crazy good. Although I'm not really sure what he buys that does have impact. Normally you see Broods, oh, Data getting caught again here. Get caught up by the Shadowblade Legion, gets a duel to his name, so that's duel number 3, I want to say. Got 38 damage, so yeah, it has to be duel number 3.
Baby Knight Phoenix coming into the bottom lane. They're going to be able to use up the Storm Spirit, who gets caught in the Static Storm. He will go down. Monster kill streak now for this Shadow Fiend. Cheshire Cat trying to turn a fight up against Blan. Overgrowth's going to hold him in place. Baby Knight, Requiem of Souls blows him up. Godlike streak now for the Shadow Fiend, and a double kill as well. This is getting ridiculous, Rascal. 17,000 net worth from Baby Knight. I mean, in all seriousness, is there any way that PR can stop this?
I don't think so. Not with the level of farm that he has. He's got like 700 plus GPM, maybe even 8. So 17,000 net worth at 23 minutes. He is unbelievably farmed, and he's going to get an Aegis on top of this. There's no way that PR can fight into him. He is way too far ahead. He didn't even bother popping his BKB. He just realizes that he is unkillable. The bot's choice is a little interesting. Well, they're going to find another duel here.
Ace just walks into King R and says, oh, hello, fine, Zidjul. 40 to buyback straight away from Venge. I mean, I don't think... Well, maybe they can contest this, Roche. It's still only at half health. The damage is certainly coming through from Ace and Baby Knight.
There's no Requiem. There's no Requiem. They could try. They're going to go for it.
Yeah, indeed. Ditchrock going straight through, but he gets
sent home by Chen.
Oh, a little bit of missed timing there, I guess. They tried to go for the play. It didn't happen. Radiant still get the Roshan, and Legion's able to pick up the Aegis.
I think ultimately they wanted to give that to Baby Knight, but they were concerned that there might be a steal attempt or something, because they didn't have any vision around the pit at all, so they just let the LC pick it up because he was closest. He was in melee range, so... And the bot choice still... You usually buy bots when you have to get rid of another item, as we're going to also see Ryze drop here. A little out of position with his Disruptor. And they're even going to drop a Sentry to make sure that the Ace isn't anywhere nearby. But I figured he would go for another tanky item, or he would just get damage. Because the bots don't really offer him anything right now. Like, he's not going to split push completely alone unless his BKB is off cooldown. And even then, I still feel like it's worth PR pushing him off the map if they could. So I don't know. It's a little weird.
Legion Commander shadow blading up, heading towards the bottom lane. We see the Slark and, of course, the Storm here at the moment. Storm's TP straight out. Ditcher hiding in the trees. Ace might find him if he goes north now. He's going to go south, check the bottom TP spot. Not be anyone here, and Slark will be able to escape. Slark still 10k net worth on this Slark. And, I mean, at this point, the Shadow Fiend, he's got more net worth, well, pretty much the same net worth as the top two cores put together on the side of PR. That's just ridiculous.
That's what happens when you let a Shadow Fiend get really far ahead. I mean, he's 9-1 as well. He's, what, more than 2/3 of his team's kills right now? So he's just completely dominating. There's no other way to say it. I'm wondering what he's going to go. Is he just going to go Butterfly here? Picks up the Eagle song. Yep, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Okay, Storm Spirit on the high ground. He's got vision. There's a fair few heroes around him. Maybe they kill the Baby Knight, and this time Baby Knight might be in trouble. Pots the BKB, tries to turn and fight Ditchera as well, hitting away, gets swapped to cancel the Requiem. Now he goes for the second one. In fact, they're standing on top of him, taking a fair bit of damage. He will get bursted down.
That's
though,
a big kill.
And that is a lot of money as well going to the Slark on that kill.
That is a really big kill. That one kill was almost 2,000 gold and 3,000 experience. One kill.
Dire's bottom tower is
that is a very big gold swing and a very big XP change as well. And yeah, 2.1k gold on the Slark on top of the Skadi now. A Baby Knight, yeah, just got caught out there. Storm Spirit scouted it out and they're ready to zip straight in and blow him up. He's still very, very far ahead, but he's got to be careful with these because a couple more of those and Slark, he's going to be back on the same level as the SF.
Now, the unfortunate part about that is after he got swapped, he should have not tried to Requiem again and just TP'd, and he would have lived, I think. But it would have been close. Because he had a 7-second BKB when he did that. So yeah, I think he might have been able to get that off. But in the moment, sometimes you get caught up in trying to go for the kill. And maybe he thought that his team might have been able to get there in time to help him. But he was way far away from the rest of his teammates. So unfortunately for Flipside, they give away a very valuable kill. And he is no longer worth the net worth of the next two highest combined. Unfortunate.
He's falling, he's certainly slipping, Baby Knight.
Bottom tower
Broodmother has got a lot of money, Driscoll. I mean, what is the plan here? There we go.
BKB.
Yeah, 5k, buys a straight up BKB.
This is such a lackluster BKB though. Like, he gets BKB against Legion, who can just duel him, and a tree who can overgrowth. I don't really think that it's anything super crazy good. It's just a necessary item for him. Like, it doesn't boost his farm at all. I mean, it gives him, like, what, 24 damage, which is like, woo, big deal. But it doesn't really impact the game in any other sense than, okay, I won't die. He never even got the tier 1 bottom. That's how bad the game is going for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly finding the farm. It just seems to be that Cheshire Cat isn't able to be as impactful as perhaps they hoped to be when PR went into the draft with this Brood pick. 27.5 minutes in, they've only taken down the tier 1 in the top and the middle lanes. 7.5k lead in terms of gold for Flipside, and coming up to 7.5k as well in terms of XP. Maelstrom is now completed onto the Legion. We see Treant working towards that Aghanims, and he's not too far off it. He only needs that final Blade of Alacrity to finish it off, just under 1k gold away. Chen himself working on an Aghanims, also point booster Oka Club, 1200 gold in the piggy bank as well. 14 to 10. Brood finishes off the treads now, and also Storm completed Bloodstone, 1300 gold on top as well. 28 minutes in, still Shadow Fiend very much in lead in terms of net worth. But the Slark, he's going to get scarier and scarier. 3.3k gold now on top of the Skadi. What does Slark go for?
I think he just goes BKB to be ultra safe. It's the go-to after Skadi for most games, because you don't want to go BKB first. By the time you get a secondary item on Slark, your BKB is already down to like maybe 7-6 seconds, and then after that it's even lower. But middle lane, they want to go on this.
He's leading the way with the Shadow Blade straight onto the Storm Spirit. Easy duel win there for Ace. Now, Storm, lucky enough to pick up the Bloodstone. He's only going to be down for 20 seconds.
He's 0-6. He's 0-6 and 3 as a Storm at 30 minutes into the game, or 29. That is just
not ideal.
That is depressing.
It's not ideal indeed. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear to see who won the mid lane. Baby Knight is a little bit further ahead than this.
He's almost got 3 times the net worth of the Storm. The butterfly is done now too on Baby Knight. So
oh boy.
This is
and we're not going to see MKBs coming out on anyone on the side of PR anytime soon, are we? I mean, Ditchra had a lot of money in the bank. Maybe he's saving up to see if the Shadow Fiend goes for the butterfly. And now do you feel it goes for the monkey?
He's seeing the Eagle Song for sure. There's not a question that he's going the butterfly. But the problem is, if he goes MKB, he's very killable because he can be static stormed and he can be overgrowth for free inside of it, and then he just dies. So he needs the BKB just to be able to live at all. And I think he'll probably focus primarily on killing the supports instead of trying to go for the cores and then just try to get out of the fight.
Oh, Chen.
Yeah, later.
Chen is very dead. Again, the same technique, smoking up as a team, leading the way with the Shadow Blade. And this time finding a little bit of extra bonus damage as they kill the Chen. And Ace, how much bonus damage is he sitting on at the moment, 30 minutes in? It's not amazing, but it's plus 80, and you don't argue with plus 80 damage on the Legion. Magic Missile out onto Baby Knight, gets Presty attacked off by the Legion commander. Cheshire Cat, maybe ready to fight, has got that double damage, and of course with the BKB, in a position to try and harass down and make it a little bit annoying for one of the members. Zipping for the Storm Spirit, and Ditchra blinking in as well. Rise getting fairly low, but with the Shadow Dance should be able to stand up. Sorry, no, not the Shadow Dance. Living Arm, in fact, was what was keeping him alive in that. Cheshire Cat getting very, very low to the right clicks of Ace and Supernova, and 3 heroes down on the side of PR. Buyback from the Storm and the Broodmother. The push coming in onto the Rat, zips straight in. Ditchra blinks in onto Rise, trying to get Rise down, but they just can't kill the Disruptor. Living Armor again, saving this Disruptor's backside. Storm, he's out of mana. He bought back into that one. He goes down. Buybacks now from the Slark and the Fench. They really want to fight this. Baby Knight getting over Presty attack, keeping him alive. They're all stuck in the party ring. Hancock comes out, keeping forth them very, very high in health, but it's not high enough. The laser beams coming out from Phoenix. Triple kill for Baby Knight. This is disgusting. 3 heroes down on PR. Only Cheshire Cat and Chen available to fight. Going on to Rise. Can they kill the Disruptor? They just can't kill him. Every fight they go in, they want to take down Rise on this Disruptor, but they just can't do it. Middle racks do go down. Cheshire Cat caught out by the Thunderstrike. He can't go back into this fight. GG is called. 31.5 minutes in, and PR, they lose the series.
Yep. That was, they needed more time. They needed more time to get more items on the Slark. That would have been their way into the game. The Storm went for the Bloodstone build. He had almost 0 impact. He got ganked by the Disruptor mid. At one point, I think, well, we'll see the end score, but I think he was something like 0-7 or 0-8 at the end of that game.
Let's have a look. Storm.
Yep, 0-8 and 3.
0-8.
He had
oh boy.
He had 300 GPM as a Storm mid.